Hey guys, and welcome back to this channel. Today I'm going to be discussing how to train your dog the easy way. When you start to train a dog, you get a new puppy and you think, oh, it's so cute, and here they come. Okay, so you have, we're using these little training treats right here. They're actually these little milk bone minis. And what you do, yeah. And so you can get to this point, here, down. And you can get to this point when you work a lot with them. We can't do this out in the yard because it's just, stop. No, we can't do this in the yard because it's raining outside today and it's kind of super cold out there, so we decided to do it in here today. So what we do, here, Junior, come. Sit, stay. And what you want them to do is to actually stay until you tell them release. Come. And which is really good on their part. Here, sit, stay. And eventually you can also just use hand signals without saying anything. Like that. I've been working with her for quite a while. Come here. Here. Sit. Stay. Which is really good on her part. No. And as puppies, they always like to get into everything. They like to sniff. Here, Junior, sit. Sit. Junior, come. Sit. Sit. Good. And when doing two puppies at one time, it can be a little hectic, considering that a lot of them don't like to listen. They get excited and they just want to go sniff, and they just, I'm having a good time. Hey. No, sit. Stay. Junior, come here. Here, sit. Stay. Junior, come. And you can actually get to this point. We're doing multiple dogs and everything. Sit. And you can actually get it to a point where you don't say anything, you'll just use hand signals to do it. I actually have one out there who actually, she can do a lot more than just sit and stay, but as this right now, this is what we're working on. Come. And if we were outside, you could tell quite a bit of difference because they would actually sit and stay. But we're in this room right here, and you know they're just sniffing everywhere. So come, sit, stay, come. No, sit. So, and if you're using training treats, you'll want to make sure they're small. Do not give like an enormously large treat. Here. Most puppies are 8 weeks old when we get them. The most important thing to do is start housebreaking them right away. If your puppy is learning to be housebroken, that makes a world of difference. And by doing that, you get them on a schedule. A feeding schedule. Like if you can feed them. A puppy should eat 3 times a day, as much as it can hold in the beginning. Once it reaches a certain age, then you will reduce that to 2 times a day. I feed mine 2 times a day, and I have a dog that she will be 6 in December. I still feed her twice a day. Some people may only feed their dogs one time a day, but if you get them on a routine, feeding them twice a day, then you can regulate how they're being housebroken. With today's video, however, the sit, stay, and come command, those right there are the kind of basics of training a dog, or any kind of pet. You can actually train a cat too, but it's a little harder to train a cat. But with a dog, those are the basic commands that you want to have, because when you have guests coming over, you don't want your dog to be all over your guests. You don't want them to jump up on people. Even though my dogs jumped on me in this video, I don't allow them to jump on other people due to the simple fact that some of the people that visit my house could fall and actually get hurt. So I keep them from jumping on people, and that's really most importantly to do. You don't want your dog to be all over your guests or anything. So when guests arrive, yeah, it's normal for them to go and sniff and everything, but then they should go to their corner and not jump or be all over your guests. But the basics of training, when you start training your dog, you want to get on your dog's level. You want to call its name really quick and look it in the eye. And you keep your focus looking in the eye until your puppy looks away. Once it looked away, you can stop looking at it in the eye, because then it will see you as a threat and become fearful. But once your puppy glances away, it will be in a submissive form then. And then you can start training it. And another thing that you need to realize when training a puppy is their attention is really short. They get bored easy, they get tired, and most importantly, you should not get frustrated when training your animal. Being frustrated only sends panic to the dog, because it's looking at you for guidance, and if you don't know what you're doing, if you can't control your own emotions when training a dog, then it's not going to be able to be controlled either. So, just when you get frustrated, every one of us has a tendency to be frustrated when training a pet, especially when they don't listen. First and foremost, an animal is not a human child. And that right there may irritate some people, but it's the truth. Animals, they don't think like human. They are not human. And whenever we try to communicate with them as being human, it gets confusing for the animal, and in a way, because whenever you have a human child, you can communicate with it and it knows what you're saying. But however, an animal, you have to train it to listen to you. And when you're frustrated, the animal is not going to listen to you. So the best thing to do if you start getting frustrated or you feel irritated is to pat the dog and walk away for a little bit, go play with it or something, and let it have its time while you take your time away from whatever you're doing, and then come back a little later. Because when a puppy is learning, it wants to sniff new things. It just wants to do what it wants to do, and it has to be trained to be obedient. However, whenever you get its focus and you start really working with it, then you will see the difference in it. And if you want to use training treats, you don't have to use training treats. It's kind of a little easier if you do. Blue Buffalo has a training treat. They're little squares, and I have bought these. However, I found that with the amount of training that you do, they can cause like an upset stomach, because you will feed a lot. You can probably break them in half just a little bit, because even if the slightest little treat an animal gets, like, it will literally keep doing what you want it to do, because it wants the food. Food drives an animal. But if you don't want to go get the Blue Buffalo, you can actually go to Walmart and get the little pepperoni or little beef jerky sticks and break those up and give it to them like that, and whenever they are rewarded. However, I found those cause a little upset stomach. So I use the Milk Bone Minis. They are, I don't know, they're probably about that big. They're for puppies. So, and what I do is I also break those in half. So whenever they do something, they get one of those. So at the time. So, but with all that being said, I just want to thank you guys for watching. And we will have more training videos on how to train. Really, the first step in training your dog is to gain its attention. And like I was describing in the video, you do that through focus on its eyes until it glances away, and then it's submissive. But you have to be the leader, and usually the one who feeds the dog is who the dog sees as the alpha dog. So, and with all that being said, we will have more training videos, and I just want to thank you guys again for watching, and thank you for subscribing to this channel. If you like more videos, please like and subscribe so you'll get notifications, and thank you again for watching It's Little Skillet.